My name is Wes Sahana Pearson. We're recording for Black Asian Magazine, and I'm in Taiwan. I'm based in Taiwan. I'm talking to two people who currently live in the Philippines because we're Black Asian Magazine. We want to get the perspective of Black people, expat communities who are all over Asia, especially at this crucial time we're going through these COVID-19 situations. So first, I've spoken to both of you before rather extensively. I've interviewed you, Kareem, before. And Bridget, I know you through the shop that you have, both of you in the Philippines. And basically, can you just both quickly introduce yourselves? So I guess maybe first we can go with you, Kareem, and then Bridget.
Well, you guys, I'm Kareem Jackson. I have a radio show, Live on the Set. Actually, it's a magazine that I have. And then Live on the Set is our out and about picture section. But of course, in today's technology, I've been doing this for 20 years. So today's technology, our Live on the Set, turned into social media Live on the Set, radio show Live on the Set. So that section took on a life of its own. And that's how my show is very popular. But I actually, Bridget, funny enough, I have 3 salons in the Philippines too.
Yeah.
And not anymore. They're all closed, by the way. So your husband, is it your husband's salon?
Yes, actually named after him.
Excuse me.
Yes, it's a barbershop. It's actually named after him because we thought about it, but he wants to make it popular here in in the Philippines. Yeah, because we haven't seen like a black barbershop in Manila yet.
Wow,
So,
mine's a barber salon actually. And I was the first to do barber salon 3 years ago. But I have 2 salons in the States too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't just jump. I don't do hair, FYI.
Really?
Where are your salons in the States? What part of the States do you have your salons in?
Kansas City and Texas.
Okay.
My sisters took over them, and they make so much money now on weaves and freaking dreadlocks and braids. They don't even touch chemicals anymore.
Okay. More people are going natural right now.
Doing dreads and braids, yeah, and weaves, of course, weaves.
Yeah. That's very popular, especially here in the Philippines. So in Manila, even Filipinos like it. So we're doing the same thing. It's actually we were planning to do that's just the barber shop alone, just cutting hair. Then we realized like, okay, looks like they're looking for a braid services as well. So we started doing it.
Very cool.
So
I did mine. I've been in media for over 20 years. So I've done magazines, I do marketing. And the reason I really did my shops, you're going to hate this, Bridget. I'm sorry. It's going to sound really arrogant, but I had wanted to prove to clients of mine in the Philippines, because I've been here a while, but no one knew me like in the States for my development company. I need to prove to the small business guys that I knew how to open and boom a small business, right? So we opened one salon, barber salon, in Bulacan. It was the first black barber salon at the time. Now you guys are here, but we did it mainly because we're the ones, the marketing, the websites, the Facebook, the branding, and I wanted to really push my marketing company. And then I sold my shops, and that's how I have 3. So I actually, once I built it up, then I sold them like a franchise. And mainly we have a website, really popular Facebook, and we did 90% online bookings, girl. That was our big thing. That was our big, wow, this is, and then we have our own products. So we have our own Brazilian brand, our own pomade brand, our own Rebond, it's called swag. So that was what we did.
Well, actually, that's what I kept, I told Wisham before that, I saw you on a group, like the barbershop group. Remember that? The salon and barbershop in Facebook.
Or was
salon,
it
barbershop
the Philippines? Or was it?
Salon no, in Facebook. On
like
Facebook.
That, right?
Okay.
On Facebook.
Salon and barbershop owners?
Yeah, that's the one. I'm a member too. So what happened is I saw one time and I was like, oh, okay. Looks like this guy owns a barbershop too. Somewhere in Pampanga, I think. Or
Bulacan, but very close.
In Bulacan,
very close.
in Bulacan. It's something like that. And so I'm like, okay. So I told Fernando, my husband,
Okay.
about
Okay.
you, and I was like, okay, maybe we should meet him one day. I was like, okay. Then then I heard like, I'm going to talk to you today. I was like, okay, that's really cool.
Small
But he's
world,
just,
right? See,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
All right.
I
Sorry, I'm just
love
using my
that
phone right now.
business. Yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
And here I'm actually contemplating whether I should. And this is right in what you're talking about, Pearson. Is that I'm
Mhm.
contemplating whether I want to open it back up or not when over this is over. I'm like, oh,
Do
do I
you
even
think
want
it'll
to
be
do
would
it?
that be a good idea? Because I want to talk about more about that also. Like right now, the whole world is buzzing about COVID-19. You're in like so, Bridget. You
Yeah,
are in the Makati area of the Philippines. Is that right? Of Manila,
yeah,
which is a
yeah,
very
yeah. That's
modern,
right.
booming tourist district. And I know Kareem, you're a little bit farther out. You're not really in the city. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the province actually. I'm not in a city at all. I mean, I'm in the city of Malolos, but it's
Hmm.
a city in the province.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's
didn't like
it's actually
I,
almost the same. It's like almost the same because it's close to Manila, right? So it's somehow it's
It
yeah,
is.
exactly.
the quarantine situation is somehow the same.
Hmm.
Like you cannot
Oh,
go in and out of Manila easily like that. Like if you want to go to Manila from Malolos, you cannot. And me,
yeah,
from
exactly.
Manila, you cannot go in. Go to Malolos anytime you want like that because of the quarantine because it's totally locked down. Like that's the term, but it's quarantine in the whole Manila. The same with Pampanga, Region 3. They call Region 3,
Hmm.
including
Hmm.
Bulacan, Pampanga, Laguna,
Hmm.
Cavite. Yeah, those cities around Manila.
So, Bridget,
Yeah.
is most of your family close to you where you're living right now?
Well, okay. So my situation, our business situation right now is close. Like the whole business is really close since the
Mhm.
lockdown begins on I think March 15.
Okay.
I remember,
Now
yeah.
again, extended
Well,
again.
okay. Well, it's really complicated now because during that time on March 15, we're actually on the process of renovating the new branch. If you remember
Okay.
that, Pearson, that
I do. Yeah, I
we're
remember that.
supposed to open the new branch in Mandaluyong, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Oh,
during that
nice, nice.
time, yeah. So during that time, we're actually renovating the branch. So when they announced that, okay, there's a quarantine now, I was like, okay, everything stopped. So right now, I don't know. The timeline's gonna move,
And
maybe
do you guys know
afternoon,
when the
like
ban
that.
will be lifted? Like, so now everything is under lockdown.
Well, it was supposed until April 30. So we were planning
5 more
to,
days.
set up the construction again.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, it got extended until May 15.
Yes.
Hmm.
So by May 15, we don't know yet the difference. I mean, we don't know yet if we going to extend another, 2 weeks,
Hmm.
Right. Now,
right?
Bridget, tell me a little bit more
So
about your barber shop and how that's going because I know you've been there for the first time I came across you was about a year, almost a year and a half ago in December of 2018.
yeah,
And I was walking around. I was in Manila,
yeah,
and I was like, "Where can I find some black people out here to hang out, to regroup, to just have a place,
yeah.
a space where I can just feel comfortable for a minute?" And I ran across your barbershop
Hmm.
and your husband. A lot of people there are from Cameroon, which kind of
Oh,
Yes,
makes
nice,
correct.
nice.
it
Most of them
makes
are
us,
like
yeah,
from Africa,
yeah, yeah.
Ghana, like Nigeria, right, like that. But most
Hmm.
of them are Cameroon because my husband is from Cameroon. So
Right.
most of
Very
his
nice.
friends, around in the area, coming to the barbershop
I
every
went to
day.
school, Bridget, in Lagos, by the way, next to Cameroon. I
Oh,
partied in
Nice.
Cameroon.
wow.
I went to American
Yeah,
International
Nice.
Cameroon.
School.
Well, I haven't been there. I haven't been there. And I haven't been there yet.
You gotta
So
go.
maybe, yeah,
I think the
yeah, maybe
peso's
next year.
worth 100 there or 50 there.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, right? It's like crazy.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
it's the
13.
it's the
13
reverse
is
for
like,
Americans. It's the same thing for you guys there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. So if you have $1 going there, it's much more, right?
It's 100.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy, right? So maybe we will visit next year. But right now, with this situation right now, because my husband is there right now, he got
Hmm.
stuck. He's
In
supposed to go
Cameroon.
home
Oh
last
my
month.
lord! Wow.
Yes, he was supposed to go back last month, but because they started the quarantine there as well, so you know he has to stay there, and I advise him to stay there instead of traveling. It's got more risk traveling, getting the virus somewhere like we don't know. So better just stay there and wait until this problem settle in first.
Do you have a lot of
Man,
people there who are infected in the Philippines who have the
have
virus?
Well,
you like what?
actually, yeah,
Infected, have the
we
virus,
do,
yeah?
but
Because in
so
Taiwan we don't
far it's
have it.
under
This is what I keep
Yeah,
telling people. In Taiwan, no
exactly.
one has. I'm like, where are you getting sick people and dying from? We have like two
No.
cases a week, and no one is dying from it here. So what is it that's happening here that is not happening in the States or in all these other countries in the world, in Italy, that are causing people to drop like flies or these other places and get infected? People here and
Tourism,
Well, I think
tourism.
Taiwan
yeah,
is very strict, right?
yeah,
Taiwan is
um,
very strict. So I heard that you're the first country to control the
yeah,
situation even
that's
before
true.
it gets worse, you know.
I
And your
wouldn't
country is
say,
not under WHO, so
yeah, that's
you
true.
can, you can start whatever you want.
I think it has
So
something to do
yeah.
with that. So what I also want to ask is personally for you, Kareem, and for you, Bridget, how have your lives changed under this situation? Like from what you were doing before the ban and what you're doing now. What are some major changes that you've noticed in life from then up to now?
Well, it changed everything because the shop is closed. Like,
Okay.
it's a struggle a little because there's no earning for the company right now. Whereas like everything was for expenses last month or
Yeah.
before it started. So everything is like all the money is all coming out because you have to provide to your employees as well. Like they are not working, so even they're not working, you have to pay for them, right?
Yeah.
So you have to pay their salaries, and at the same time they need like they're supposed to get like basic salary plus
Plus
the what do
benefits.
you call this, the commission. So
Mm-hmm.
if there's no client, there's no work, their commission is zero as well, so no
Right.
money. So
Okay.
everything changed, especially for me, maybe not just for the employees but for the owners as well. For me, there's no income right now, so it's really hard,
Okay.
and we
And I'm
cannot even
hearing
go out.
I'm hearing from other friends who are in that area in and around the Philippines, there are quite a few shortages. Like maybe the only thing that's really open is 7-Eleven and Mini Stop. And so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, that's
shortages day to
true.
day.
That's true. And no, the grocery and the pharmacy. That's
Okay.
that's that's the two main, stores open. But that's the
Okay.
only stores open. The groceries, the pharmacy, yeah, 7-Eleven, like that. But the rest, maybe for takeout, yeah, for food. As long as it's a necessity, they're allowed to open.
Hmm.
But you cannot just stand there and wait for your line. You have to call them in advance to order, then you can just go there and pick it up.
You're in
Hmm.
the Philippines. You're from the Philippines. Your
Hmm.
husband is not from the Philippines.
No,
Being
no,
that
he's not.
he's from Cameroon. Um,
He's an African from Cameroon.
so being that you're married to a man who's not from your own culture and background, uh,
Hmm.
your friends, your family, how have they received your husband, you, your relationship in the time that you've been together with him?
Well, actually, it's kind of well, how can I say this? Like it's something new, right? So it's like the first question would be like, okay, it looks interesting, but at
Hmm.
the same time, they're thinking like, okay, um, where where is he staying? Like, what kind of work is he doing? Where is his family? Those common question, like a normal family would ask.
Right. They want to make sure you're with
Stuff
someone who's
like
good for
that.
you. I see.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, well, my good thing is my family is very open to, to him. So it's just so happened that, like, of course, more questions. And what, what I did was just to invite him over here, in the province because my parents live in the province. So I'm actually
Okay.
here in the province right now. I'm not in Manila now.
Right.
So yeah, so I invited him over here just to introduce himself to my family, to my parents, and all that. So yeah, they accepted him okay, but yeah, of course you will not, you cannot, you know, like it will be, you know, not common for them to ask more questions about him.
Tell me a little bit more about the section where you're living and how it's different from living like in Metro Manila.
Yeah, more like Manhattan, and then I live more outside, like over the bridge, or like in San
Mhm.
Francisco, you can live in Frisco, or you can live over the bridge. You know,
Okay.
I live more in the suburbs. That might be
Okay.
the word.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
province.
All right.
Um, but I lived in Makati before too. I lived in Makati. I lived actually where she's putting her new shop in Manila Young. I've got friends that have businesses there. Um, so it makes more sense. And for her, and with the Cameroonian guy, and all, it
Mhm.
makes more sense for them. But the business that I'm in, um, it didn't make as much sense for me, and then I just got tired of it over the years. I'm curious to hear how long they've been together and how long they've been living there, because
Okay.
the first couple of years I was in that area.
Okay.
You know, you kind of start in the city, then you realize, oh, I want to get a dog, or
Yeah.
I wish I had a
You want to
yard, or I
expand. You
miss
want to grow a little
grass,
bit.
or
How has this situation affected the business that you're in, the job that you're doing?
well, let me give you a little background real quick. Is that I'm a media entrepreneur. Actually, I've been doing marketing and media for about 20 years plus, like 20 years in the States, and then I came here.
Hmm.
Um, so people know my magazines, or they know my radio show, or even my salons, but they don't realize that no, I'm actually a business development media guy. So I do consulting, business development, websites, graphics. I get into media because it's magazines or media. So if I have a magazine article about something, then usually there's a video, then there's a radio show episode, and if I have advertising clients in my magazine, I bring them on my radio show. So I'm not really a radio host. I own my show, so to speak. And really and truly, I hate to say it, but this is a blessing for me.
Really?
I'm yeah, man, I just got to figure out how to make more
Ooh.
money and how to get my clients better. I don't live off the salon, so it's a little different for me that way.
Hmm.
But it's my business is media. So really and truly for me, it's like 10 years ago when I outsourced my company to the Philippines, I told people back then that were hating on me, my partners that thought I was crazy, that the future was not magazines, and then of course went from print to digital. I was right. And then from print to digital, I told a lot of my clients that print and digital is not the only thing. You need to have online marketing and online booking, like for my salons. I told you, Bridget, that 90% of my salon business is online bookings. So I have 5 to 8,000 customers, names, phone numbers, everything. I can contact them. I can do their bookings online. So that was really what I wanted to prove, was that a salon or a client of mine, we could do your online bookings, which at that time, we were the first salon to have a website where people actually went to book, have it. None of them had it. So at the time, that was a big investment of $250,000 pesos, and they thought I was crazy again. So now I'm telling my clients, see, told you walk-ins weren't key. I told you need a website or marketing or online.
Yeah.
For me, it's a blessing in the sense that I don't really like to leave if I don't have to. So
Well,
if I have to,
actually,
go ahead.
what I see is like the kind of business you have is media, right? And
Yeah.
most because of this situation, like everything, like clients, everyone is going online. Like everyone is looking up online right now. So this is the thing. Um, but maybe the services you provide for the people is more on online and media. So that's one
My
thing.
main business, my main
But for the
business.
barbershop, for me, I think because we offer services like, in person, like we cannot do it like, yeah, of course we can do online, advertisement as of the moment, like right now. But if the client wants to get a haircut now, we cannot give the haircut right now. So that's the problem with our business, during this situation.
What I
That's
think,
the
my
good thing.
opinion, Bridget, and as I mentioned before, we had our mysterious ghost came and turned us all off. Um,
Yeah.
where I'm thinking of, do I want to reopen my? I have three branches that and they're franchised, by the way. I opened my first branch on my own, and then I sold two other branch franchises, and then I eventually sold the one that I opened. And
Mm-hmm.
I have one in Mikawayan, one in Pulilan, and one in Malolos. And the Mikawayan's huge. It's like spa, facials, all that stuff. The Pulilan's like a
Yeah.
little bitty neighborhood branch, and then Malolos, I have um, like a bigger salon, but still regular salon. And it's a barber salon, so there's a barber shop attached to a salon. But really,
Yeah.
what I'm wanting to do is that I own that's most valuable to me is that I own the website, the social media, and all the client lists and the booking system, right? So
Yeah.
when
Mm-hmm.
I open, is I'm thinking to close my two big branches, focus on my small little branch, which is like outside the province, city, like it's way out. But
Yeah.
for what I'm paying for my large branch for rent alone in Mikawayan,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and a franchise of mine is 1,000,000 pesos, by the way. So what I'm
Yeah.
paying for the branch and then what someone would pay me for a franchise if I were to sell another one, which I probably couldn't do, I'm thinking, well, why don't I just get freaking scooters or tricycles, wrap those things up, and then use
Yeah.
my online marketing and really send these folks out to do home service only,
Yeah.
and or focus on the bookings, because of course bookings are easier than walk-ins, so we can,
Yeah.
we know who they are, you know what I'm saying, we can
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
reschedule you. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't have any
Yeah.
idea. But I'm
Well, right
thinking in
now
my
we
head,
started also the same system. Like since we opened up, we we were able to get some contact details of our clients, our regular clients, and all that. Sometimes we text them like, oh, we have a promo this week or this coming week, stuff like that. We try to communicate as much as we can to them. But right now, of course, they're trying to contact us like, oh, hey, um, I need a haircut. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, of course, we would like to provide it to them, but the thing is, we cannot go anywhere. That's the
yes.
problem right now. During this quarantine, we can't go anywhere. Like
Well,
every
but the
street
good news
has
is,
like,
girl, that no matter what happens in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whenever it is, when they open
yes,
it up, we're going to be slammed,
yes,
honey.
yeah, yeah. That's true.